So I just finished reading Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 52, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this. We got Vegeta and Yardrat, Goku and Maris doing their Ultra Instinct training. We even touch up on Bulma a little bit and have an awesome sequence with Piccolo, all the while building up anticipation for what's to come next, especially with the Z Fighters, and we'll get into all that in a second. But first, I want y'all to subscribe to the channel for a power up as I cover the Dragon Ball Super manga every single month, and hit the notification bell for new videos that come out. We have a lot of fun on here. But first, we have Vegeta arriving on Yardrat, and apparently they heard about Vegeta from Goku. Now it's interesting because how do these Yardrats know that this is Vegeta? Did Vegeta and this Galactic Patrol dude contact them before they landed and say, hey, I'm Vegeta and this is the Galactic Patrol dude? But it's funny because they mistake the Galactic Patrol dude for Vegeta, and I thought that was rather humorous. And then we have these regular looking Yardrats that we've seen before that we're familiar with, and then we have these onion head, as I like to call them, onion head Yardrats, which apparently are from Dragon Ball Online, or is their design from Dragon Ball Online, and I guess they're just gonna have, they just have these like two different looks to their species. So Vegeta actually mentions that the Ginyu Force had attacked Planet Yardrat, and of course, as we see, Planet Yardrat is its own thing. They haven't been taken over by the Frieza Force, so that is rather commendable that they were able to fight them off with their techniques, even though they say that they're not very strong. So, and we'll get into what Vegeta is going to do on this planet in a second, because we have the revelation that all of these little onion head Yardrats are just one Yardrat, and he's using Naruto's clone jutsu. And you even see these little smoke puffs. That's like straight from Naruto, man. But then he goes to the Elder Yardrat, which is another onion head Yardrat. And he's like, I'm the one who taught Goku instant transmission. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. If you saw the leaks, if you saw my video, you know some of the translations, which are pretty rough. I was pretty spot on with them. But this is really cool. I'm really intrigued for where this is gonna go next, because apparently the reason they can do all this is what's called spirit control. Now it sounds like they're trying to make it come off as like a different or special kind of ki that makes them be able to do this stuff. And it's like, well, doesn't like Goku just use regular ki to use instant transmission? I mean, we saw when Moro took all their power, Goku wasn't able to do it. So Goku obviously doesn't have this spirit control, or at least to the degree that these Yardrats might have it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting some more clarification on this, and I hope it's not like some sort of disappointing thing, because so far it just kind of seems like it's, I don't know, a little bit lackluster. Spirit control as opposed to a whole new technique. How is this spirit control gonna help them defeat Moro, you know? Because how is it gonna prevent him from taking their ki? And we get to possibly my favorite part of the whole chapter, Piccolo. Now, if you've seen my videos, you probably know that Piccolo is my favorite character, so this got me really hyped. And seeing him here meditating, and the Galactic Patrol saying, hey, you know, we could use the Earthlings' help, you know, the fighters from Universe 6 tournament, and even the Tournament of Power, and they even mentioned Krillin and Ten Shinhan. But that's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see that some of that stuff, them going around, or at least on Earth, preventing Moro's minions from taking Earth. But Piccolo goes to meet the Macaroni siblings, and they just like open fire, just like, oh, there's a dude there, shoot him. Like, what if this was just a regular human dude? Would they have shot him? What if it was a farmer with a shotgun? So of course this does nothing, and I'm actually really enjoying the paneling here. I mean, there's not too many panels, I don't think, but I think there's just enough to convey the really fast-paced action that goes on here. But we touch up on Bulma a little bit. Mr. Satan doesn't really say anything. They establish that Moro's men is possibly going to come and attack Earth, and of course Dende's all stressed out. But we get to that in a second. So now we get into the really cool action of Piccolo fighting these Macaroni siblings. Of course, they stand no chance. This dude has a light whip. What the hell is that gonna do to Piccolo? And what is a few little pebbles gonna do to Piccolo? Maybe throw a planet at him? That might do something. But the short Macaroni is like, hit the deck right before all these little explosions go up. Now, it seems like these guys make a pretty good team. Too bad they're going up against Piccolo. But then this chick, she goes and does Piccolo's move, like right out of Piccolo book. And he's like, I know that trick. And his freaking arms spat. I love this panel. His arms spat right out of the dust cloud. And he's like, hey, I know that trick too. That was so awesome, man. I love how his hands look. They're just like, So we cut back to Jocko and, not Jocko, but Dende and Bulma, and they are talking about how Moro's men might arrive there. She finally gets in touch with Jocko, and Dende's all stressed out about a possible invasion. I don't know what you're so stressed out about. You got like the 10 strongest warriors in the universe, you know? So now we get to something that's kind of a little bit bothersome, and that's Piccolo, having defeated the Macaronis, has them tied up and just lets them go. Like, Piccolo, aren't you going to question them? Are you going to see why they're there? You're not going to think it's strange that they come in a ship and then just leave willy-nilly just like that? Like, obviously, he says that it's clear that they're not the source of the disturbance, but I would think that Piccolo's smart enough to think that, okay, maybe they're working for the guy that's creating the large disturbance, which is the case, more or less. And of course, he just lets him go. So I don't know what the point to that was. Couldn't they have communicated to Moro whilst tied up, and then that would have alleviated any dumbness from Piccolo? But they're flying away, and Dende's like, hey, stop them, don't let them get away. So he doesn't. They say it's too late, that they already contacted him. So I think this whole latter part of this scene was kind of pointless. I feel like Piccolo should have at least tried to question them. But finally, we get a little, we have one page for Moro, and I actually kind of like this, giving us a break from the villain every once in a while to help build the story and build up for future events to come. So they actually say, hey, Earth might be a place of good, strong guys. So Moro's like, huh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I'm really looking forward to actually the Z Fighters' involvement in this, and I really hope that we get some good stuff, because, man, I mean, the Tournament of Power was the opportunity to get these guys involved and get them some good shine. And of course, we all know how squandered that was. Check out my Tournament of Power rewrite on the channel. I think a lot of people will think that that's a lot more satisfying. We finally get Goku and Maris training for Ultra Instinct, and Maris has this power pole looking thing. Goku can't land a hit on him, big surprise, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, later on in this chapter, we learned that Maris knows about Ultra Instinct, and he seems pretty knowledgeable on it. And so I'm thinking, does Maris actually have Ultra Instinct? And it's just like he doesn't have an aura? And actually, him attacking Goku with this pole is one of the only attacks that we ever see. He's only attacked actually attacked like 2 or 3 times, maybe. But Goku is just not getting the hang of it, and Maris actually explains, you know, you have to, it'll activate when you achieve self-control in the face of a jarring shock to your emotions. And it's like, okay, that kind of explains how he did it in the Tournament of Power when he sees Roshi get eliminated. That was kind of a shock to his emotions, and then he just kind of snapped into it. And I'm thinking, geez, Maris sure seems to know a lot about this stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry for not revealing that I know about this stuff. And Goku's like, oh, now that's okay. We don't need to talk about it. And I'm like, yes, we do need to talk about it. We need to know what Maris's deal is. How did he get this way? How does he know so much about Ultra Instinct? God dang, man. Please explain. That's all I want. I want an explanation, and I want it to be a satisfying justification for how he's this way. Like, I've heard the theory that he's like some angel or something like that. Okay, maybe he's the son of an angel or something crazy like that, because it kind of seems like he might have some degree of Ultra Instinct with the way that he moves and everything. So what I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this yet, which I did talk about in my leaks video. They're in this pyramid-like place, and they walk in, and it's a hyperbolic time chamber. Like, this should be a gigantic reveal, and it actually is kind of a big reveal. And then Goku's just like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with the hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah, no biggie. I'm like, yes, biggie. You're not reacting at all to this? Is there other hyperbolic? How many hyperbolic time chambers are there in the universe? So my translations here were correct in that 3 days in the chamber is 1 day in the real world. So very interesting. It's definitely not as potent as the room and spirit of time that we all know and love. But I wonder what the limit is in this room, because we had a limited in the other one before, but obviously Dragon Ball Super kind of took that away when Goku and Vegeta trained in there for 3 hours. So Maris, the big reveal. Another big reveal in this chapter. Lots of big reveals. Maris says, in this place, I can go to my full power without anyone finding out. So, I mean, he obviously has a reason to keep his power a secret. So I'm thinking that maybe this angel theory has something to it. Like maybe this guy is a god or an angel who just did not like his job, didn't want to be an angel anymore. So he's like, screw this. I'm going to put my powers to some better use than babysitting some snot-nosed gods of destruction, you know? Or maybe he is like a Supreme Kai or something. What do you guys think? I think it was a very good mix between some good action and some well-paced action, touching up on stuff and building up anticipation for what's to come next with the Z Fighters fighting Moro stuff. Maris's full power, that's another cliffhanger note to go on. And I actually liked the paneling and the action of Maris and Goku's fights. I think that was pretty nice, and I'm hoping to see more of that. Speaking of hoping to see more of, I really hope that we see more of Yardrat. I hope that's not it. I hope we don't see, like the next time we see Vegeta, he's like, I have spirit control now. So what do you guys think? Drop your thought waves down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching and take it easy.